Nice, a little longer than you think. Keep that nose coming up.
And I have that traffic, 942 Echo Mike.
So that's the focus.
Roger, just passed
Yep,
north
let's go
again,
around.
and
There.
Yep, so you've got the flight controls, so anytime you're on the ground, just keep the stick back in your gut there, and then with tailwheel, you remember from the glider tailwheel flying, you have to kind of anticipate the movement and come in on the rudder before it starts to build momentum going one way. So this is going to be a little more work with that today. This
a little more rudder work.
This is less stable laterally on the ground.
Okay.
But there's less of a concern of wingtip strikes, and its left turning tendencies aren't as bad. So little pros and cons there.
Right. Okay.
So yep, your controls whenever you're ready. Take us up to the hold short lines up there, and try to use no brakes, just managing energy. So just give us some really gentle S turns here, just to get familiar with the control of it.
So it is a lot, like it's a lot to get there, but once you're there, you don't want to do too much, right?
Yeah, and you're managing momentum, and you have to stay ahead of that.
Right.
So anytime you have a turn, you want to kind of plan ahead what you're going to do. So I would already start leading the turn a little bit.
Okay, so start.
There you go, you get your momentum going the right way, and then yeah, just like you did, you started coming on with the right rudder. Once it starts going left, that's perfect.
Okay.
Because once it starts going, you don't need any more rudder, but it's going to keep going until you do something.
Great.
And then the other thing on the ground you want to plan besides turns is the wind. So we just made a turn, the wind's going to affect us differently. This is going to want to weather vane much more than Cessna 172 primarily.
Right.
But once it starts getting up towards 20 knots, the weather vaning tendency on the ground is pretty intense.
Pretty gnarly. Okay, so here, what all kind of run-ups are we doing? Is it similar?
So in this plane, since we don't have a checklist, I use cigar. So controls first.
Down, up and down.
I mean, just use enough.
Controls are free. That's good.
I is instruments, and then G is gas.
0422.
So we've got 2 hours of fuel.
I
What's
guess. Altitude.
and then our run up. We'll do a quick run up.
So get to that center, nice and pretty lined up. And then once I'm here, we go full throttle.
Yep. And then yeah, once you're there, check your engine instruments. So already you feel you need a little right aileron with that wind.
Right.
And now stick to neutral.
Stick to neutral.
And now start pushing forward a little.
A little bit
A
forward.
little right aileron.
Yep.
There you go, come forward a little more. Oh no, that's good, we're in the air already.
Okay. So that right aileron is really where I gotta go.
Yep. Yeah, when I said push forward, I didn't mean to say that as we came off the ground.
That's all right. We're learning today.
Yep.
All right, so we're 60 is what we want to fly at.
Yep. Engine gauges look good. RPM is making good power.
Yep. Left traffic. I need to hold this full power here. Okay.
Every landing we do will be power off, 180 as well.
Okay. Power off 180.
That was the way I grew up flying in this plane.
That's cool.
The traffic permitting, every landing is a spot landing with power off 180.
Wow. All right.
And then this plane, just like the glider, is going to tell on you quite a bit if you're uncoordinated at all.
Yeah, it does, which is good. It gave me to a better coordination, better controls.
Yeah.
Well, left base, runway 31.
All right, so there it is. There's our...
We're looking for that traffic 31, number 2, clear to land.
Ooh, that's a deep voice. Probably not going to make the 1,000-footers, but...
Such 46119, make straight in runway 35.
Straight in runway 35, one more time.
Best glide's 60.
Okay, that's great.
Executive 53 Papa Hotel, we are past Lancaster looking to...
Once we touch down, just as far as pitch, just freeze your pitch where it is when we touch. Still use your ailerons as needed, but freeze your pitch once we touch down, and then make sure you're on the rudders. Stay active on those.
53 Papa Hotel, Roger.
What speed do you want to touch down at?
VFR south.
We'll just hold it off.
Okay.
Not really looking at speed. So get into ground effect, and then we're going to hold it off until we have that pitch attitude that we had when we were on the ground.
Okay.
So we're clear for touch to go 3-1. So right on that line, and remember, you're going to need a little right aileron, left rudder in the touchdown here, and hold it off longer, freeze the stick, and on the rudders, freeze the stick.
Left rudder.
There you go,
right
keep your right aileron, nice job, nicely done. All right, stick back a little bit, and full throttle, let's go. Come forward on the stick, forward. Come forward more. Keep your right aileron.
Yep, it's the right aileron, not the rudder.
There you go. Just make sure you're not touching those brakes at all.
Yep, not on the brakes.
Cool. Nice, that was a good first landing. I got your carb heat coming off. There's
you,
a little
sir.
more power for you.
Thank you, sir. All right, so in that one I came in, maybe I wasn't ahead with the rudders, or was it just not enough aileron?
That was a pretty good landing, actually. The touchdown was great. Your sight picture was right on with that. You touched down right exactly where you want to, so really good touchdown. Just a little bit of more work than you're used to after landing, right? A 172, the landing's pretty much over when you touch down.
Right. I mean, still you want to finish your landing, but this one has a lot more work.
Right, yeah, the work starts for us when we touch down at this point.
Got it.
So the best kind of way to explain the approach to the rudders there is you want to stay ahead of it, but you also want small controls. So just kind of like dancing on the rudder. So if you feel this, just like little dancing movements on the rudder. Do you understand kind of what I was saying by freeze the stick with pitch once we touch down?
Yeah, you're holding it steady, but you can move left and right kind of for your ailerons.
Cool, yeah.
It's definitely something I'll get used to, but it made sense when you said it.
Yep. The reason for that is tailwheel...
63 Echo, you can start your base, runway 31, cleared touch and go.
Turn base 31, cleared touch and go, champ 63 Echo. Tailwheel tailwheel landings, you're much more likely to have pilot-induced oscillations for your porpoise.
Okay.
It's so easy to do in a tailwheel, so that helps to prevent that.
Gotcha.
But if you ever start getting into a porpoise in a tailwheel, it's much more serious. I mean, no matter what, if you're porpoising, you should probably go around, right? But in a tailwheel, it's I would say more dangerous even than in a tricycle gear.
We'll have a little right aileron as we come in, and it'll be the left rudder.
This is good practice for you getting the crosswind practice, for sure. It makes it a lot harder.
Tower, 697 Charlie up, holding short of 31, ready for takeoff. We'd like a south west departure.
All right, so we come in.
697 Charlie Alpha, executive tower, hold short runway 31.
Hold short of 31, 697 Charlie up.
And we're gonna hold her off.
Executive helicopter.
Longer than you expect. Keep coming back. More. When it touches, freeze it. More. Freeze it. So you push forward a little there.
Yep.
So now we're gonna stay forward.
Okay.
A little right aileron there as you use your...
942 Echo Mike,
Let's go.
tower, go ahead with your request.
Keep
Okay,
this.
thank you.
Yep,
Sorry about
full
that.
power.
About 8 miles to your...
Nicely done. Come up on the right wheel.
East.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, there we go.
Currently at 1,500 inbound.
Don't pull back here. Don't pull back.
Okay.
Yeah.
942 Echo Mike.
You really don't want to pull it off the ground in
Okay.
Great.
Yeah, because you don't want to slam
a normal
tail
takeoff.
and...
Well, also we're just we're in ground effect, so we're kind of slow at that point. And I just prefer to let it fly off the ground.
Right. Okay. So in that one,
942 Echo Mike.
That was great. You're doing a great job, Travis.
East of the airport.
This is not easy. This is especially this is your first time in a real tailwheel airplane. I mean, you've been in the glider, but that's not technically an airplane.
right. Is there anything you were like, okay, maybe I pushed forward too early? Is that what you're saying?
So your approach was great. Once we touched down, you pushed forward about 2 inches on the stick.
Okay.
So that's the start of the pilot-induced oscillation. If you do that and then you try to pull back again. So when you did that, I just came on with you and kept it forward.
Okay.
So what that did is we transitioned from a 3-point to a wheel landing, which is fine. That's totally fine. That's a way that you can salvage a landing.
Right.
As long as it's not getting into that oscillation to the point where we need to go around.
Meaning, hold it where it is, not go to like a neutral position.
Yeah. Sorry if I
No,
didn't use the best language on that. Just freeze the pitch when we touch down.
No, that makes sense. Freeze where I'm at, not freeze to a point. That's what I was clarifying.
And just for a couple seconds, just until we're slow enough that we can't come off the ground again. And then you can come all the way aft.
Okay, got it. Booking it on out here, no delay, huh?
Yeah, jeez. All right, so show me a slip.
All right, so in this situation, we're gonna
Yeah, that looked, I guess, closer than it was. Nice. And you see our descent rates, like
Arch 7
1,000 feet per minute there?
to the southwest.
Turning to the southwest.
Which I guess it could have been longer, but okay. So as we're coming in, power's idle, car beat's on. We're gonna have a little.
942 Echo Mike, traffic's a Cherokee. It's 12 o'clock at a mile. On
Nice,
the
a
right
little
downwind
longer
for
than you
3-1.
think. Keep that nose coming up.
And I have that traffic, 942 Echo Mike.
So that's the
Echo Mike,
porpoise.
Roger, just
Okay.
past
Yeah,
north
let's
of
go
them,
around.
and then direct the
Yeah, don't
ramp.
wait for that go around.
Okay.
Once we start the porpoise.
Okay, so that was our first bad one.
Watch your speed coming out of ground effect there.
Aircraft and landing at 90.
Yep. So you didn't hold it off long enough.
That's what it was. Okay.
You touched it. You touched the main wheels before you were expecting to.
Yeah. So did I pull back? Is that the?
61 meters.
Regardless if you pull back or not, it's like a pendulum. That tail's gonna fall if you hit the main wheels first.
Right.
When that happens, just go around.
All right. I think I may have rounded out too early. Is why.
Yeah, that's inevitable. That's you need to see those, right?
For sure. You don't want to keep doing them, but
Yeah, that's gonna teach you more than a good landing wheel.
to hold off longer, not touching front wheels before that back for a 3-point.
And if it does, don't wait because you don't have a lot of power in your
power
bank.
in.
Yeah.
Okay. A little bit quicker on that. All right. And I'll look at.
Okay, what's that look like now? 8185.
8185, showing 1,900.
185, thank you.
Go around.
Pretty safe cruise. Have a good day.
Okay, sir.
Arming up.
You debriefed that one.
All right.
What?
All right. So as I coming in, I was trying to hold it off. I think I let myself. I didn't. What do I want to say? I didn't come back enough. I didn't pull back on the elevator enough to get my better side picture. I think I had my nose. My angle of attack was more for like a wheel landing instead of a 3-point.
Yep.
And so as I slowed down, I hit those front wheels right away.
Yep. You didn't have enough aileron correction either. So we hit
Okay.
the left front wheel.
That's what it was. Okay.
We may have hit both, but we hit the left one first.
Okay.
So we were.
Not enough right aileron for the wind correction, but also not the right side picture.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, you held it off less that time than the last one even.
Okay.
So let me show you one on this one just to show you
Okay.
a good side picture, and then I hope you dial that in. So my controls.
Your controls.
My controls.
Your control.
Alright, starting our turn final. So watch how much I hold it off, and then also watch my aileron correction.
Right.
Just keep your hands and feet on the controls.
Yeah, I'm kind of just trying to hover so I don't mess with your controls.
Cool. Alright, got a little extra energy here. Alright, so we're holding it off, little right aileron. We're a tiny bit yawed there,
Okay.
but not too much.
Negative tower 442.
And keeping the right aileron coming up on the stick, you see that?
Yeah.
South.
And little bump into the air there.
Yeah, it's a lot more forward than it's more forward than you think, but not too far forward, if that makes sense. But also,
Arch 442, Charlie.
It's a lot more back when you're holding on.
Yeah.
Clear for takeoff, runway 31, right turn.
Alright, you ready for it?
I think so.
Alright, your flight controls.
My controls.
Your controls.
All right, car beat off. Good. Power in.
Closure to 31, close 0424, 4646.
Arch 442, Charlie Alpha, remain north of final for runway 31 for traffic inbound.
Yeah, we'll remain north of final for 312 Charlie.
Freeze the pitch. Get on your feet, active on the rudders. Alright, you went to a wheel landing, that's fine. Right aileron.
Tower, 696 Charlie Alpha, holding short runway 31, ready for departure. We'd like to stay here.
When we come off the ground, we want to come off left wheel off first here, right?
Arch 686 Charlie
And yeah, if it starts bouncing, stay off the ground.
Okay.
I guess you're...
Okay, so in that one, I held it off longer. It was better.
So what you're doing is when you're touching down, you're releasing back pressure. That's like a super common thing because you're not doing an action, so you kind of feel like you're freezing the pitch, but you are releasing some back pressure. So when we touch down, don't release any forward.
Got it. So hold it even harder. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't even notice that. That's a almost a subconscious, but like I feel like I'm not doing anything, so I leave it. Okay, that makes sense. Freeze it even harder and hold it.
Yep.
Wow, it really is insane how effective that is.
Arch 450 Charlie Alpha, left turn on course.
Left turn off course, 450 Charlie Alpha.
Arch 686 Charlie Alpha, extend your downwind on call your base, your number 4.
We'll extend our downwind, 686 Charlie Alpha.
Arch 450 Charlie Alpha, contact departure.
Say again, 450 Charlie Alpha.
Arch 450 Charlie Alpha, contact departure.
Contact departure, 450 Charlie Alpha.
6022
Bring the stick back now.
31, clear to land.
Okay, now forward, now forward.
Now forward. Okay, sorry.
409 Charlie Alpha, you're following a Cessna.
Right,
That's on a 2.5
Don't touch that.
clear to land.
Ready.
Still looking for a Cessna, runway 31, oh, actually Cessna inside, 31 clear to land, number 2 for the 9 Charlie Alpha.
Archer 686 Charlie Alpha, what type landings do you want?
We're going to be doing
Good landing.
Thank you, sir.
So,
Finish the takeoff, though.
yes, when you freeze the stick, what's going to happen? I guess we didn't talk really beyond that. Eventually, you're gonna slow down enough that the tail is gonna fall on the ground.
Right.
That's good. That's what we want. Once that happens, then bring the stick back gently. Not all. Don't cram it back, but just gently give it a little back pressure, so that when you go full throttle, you're not gonna have a pitching forward motion at all.
Okay.
And then once you're full throttle again, then you can come back forward.
Got it.
So
So
that
you
was-
put full power, then pitch forward.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I remember from the takeoff, very first takeoff, it's you're holding it, full power in, and then you're going to start pitching forward after, but in a touch and go. Okay.
Yeah, so just if the tail is already on the ground, just give a little back pressure on the stick first, and then come forward with the power.
All right.
I think that's
Archer
Sam still.
686 Charlie Alpha.
That's 423, isn't it?
Bravo
It
1,
is.
Bravo,
Wow.
cross runway 35, Alpha to runway 31.
right turn on Bravo, cross runway 35 to Charlie to Alpha.
And it's cross runway 35 to Alpha 4, Alpha to 31.
Bravo to Bravo, Bravo 1 to Bravo, cross runway 35, Alpha 4, Alpha to 31. 686 Charlie Alpha.
So hold it off longer than last time. Keep holding it off. Hold it off. Hold it off. When we touch, don't let it forward.
13 Whiskey's about
Right rudder.
south with Juliet requesting.
All right. Now we're shimmying, so release forward a little bit.
Air 8313 Whiskey,
Let
executive
it slow
tower
down.
0431.
All right, come on the brakes. Stick back.
0431, 13 Whiskey.
It'll stop in a second. All right, give us some rudder.
Champ 63 Echo, you can turn right on runway 35 and you're parked.
Yeah, with that shimmying,
423, make
you just kind of got to let it get slow and then make a turn, and it'll
Okay.
go away.
But, so did that shimmy probably was a little worse. I was not a, I feel like I held a little better off.
Your hold off was really good. You were a little yawed when we touched down.
That's what it was, okay.
So that's why we had that yaw response when we touched down.
Yeah,
Other
that's
than
what it
that, everything was great.
Okay. That's what it was the yaw. I think it held back better, but.
Yeah, definitely. The flare was perfect. I loved
Okay.
it.
Great.
Just a little bit.
And I think I had the right aileron in, but it was little things that I was trying to think about.
And those are the little things where you can really,
583 Charlie Alpha, executive
you
tower.
can never coast in a tailwheel landing. You always have to be vigilant, paying attention, because
Right.
it could bite you so fast. Like even turning off the runway here, it could
Right.
bite you so quickly. You've got to always just stay really vigilant and respect it.
Right.